pull and swing. There we go, that's a bit of a better one. And so I'm getting some decent launch angle, getting some decent numbers. Today I want to share some secrets on how to get the release phase of your golf swing to work so that you can hit higher launch, more centered strikes to hit every fairway on the course. I've talked about the break phase in the golf swing for irons. Now today I'm going to talk about the break phase with the driver. With the aid of this putter that you've all got in your golf bags, you will be able to give a real sense of how this break phase works in your downswing, which ultimately is really going to make you fortify function, make you use the driver head for all of its worth. What we're looking for with the driver is high launch. We want high launch with limited spin, or less spin than most golfers tend to get. The spin comes from having an open face, number one, and number two, hitting too much down. Now the problem with the driver is that we're all trying to hit it a long way. When we have it teed up and we stand on the first tee, invariably we are trying to hit it as far as possible. Now the problem with that is because this lever is very long, it's the longest one in the bag, unless you use a broom handle putter, you will have a point where that you think that you're releasing the club head, and it has to release. The club head has to unload, whether you like it or not. You may think you can do this Tommy Fleetwood nonsense, but the reality is that golf club has to swing, and when that golf club swings is when you reach maximum energy. When that club head and handle lines back up, because at the top of your backswing, you'll have some sort of set between your arms and club shaft. Then what will happen, whether you know it or not, you will pull that golf club into impact. Some of you pull it a long way or pull it hard. Some of you think you don't and you just turn into the golf ball. Whether you like it or not, you are pulling that implement. Now the point at which you stop pulling and you allow the club to start swinging is the moment when you'll start to create more upstrike. And we've all thought about hitting up on the driver. So when we have the four displays or four boxes down below here, and you'll notice today I've actually got a fifth one, which is a launch angle box, because this is the point that I want to make about angle of attack, the swing phase, and your opportunity to maximize club head speed and therefore energy on the golf ball. The attack angle is really allowing us to measure whether the club head is hitting up on the ball or the club head is hitting down on the ball. Now what we don't understand is, or what a lot of people don't appreciate, is that when the club head is hitting up on the ball, simply the club head, when the club head is hitting up on the ball, it can come from the handle rising up at the same amount as the club head, or we can hit up on the ball with the club head going lower to the floor and the club head rising up. The second one, the one where the handle is going closer to the floor and the club head is rising up, is the one in my books that we all need to learn more of. And that will ultimately be dictated by when you have the break phase in your golf swing. So you can see how that club is swinging up on the ball. As it's swinging up on the ball, you can see how my handle is actually, it's not going to be this extreme, but you can see how my handle is actually going lower and the club head is rising up. The club head is going higher, the hand is going lower, the head is rising up. That is upstrike. The way we've perceived upstrike is this way. Sitting back, handle up to hit up. Now the reality is that that will keep some sort of leverage in the swing as opposed to a full unload. So when we measure on the screen here the attack angle and the launch angle, I'm going to do my way first. I'm going to allow the golf club to swing at the bottom, unload, break phase back here and stand by because I'm going to show you how to feel this break phase, I'm going to allow the club head to swing at this point, which means I've got to slow the handle down because I'm pulling it, the handle's stalling, now the club head is swinging. So it will look something like this. So the club head was pulled, the club head was swung, I hit up on the golf ball at 3 degrees, had a slightly open face to path, and I had a launch angle of 15 degrees. Let's see if we can get one with a slightly squarer club face for you. So we'll pull and swing. So pull and swing, pull, swing, unloaded. And there we can see I've hit 3 degrees up and I've now got the face close to the path with a launch angle of 11.5. Now the reason why I wanted to hit one with a slightly squarer club face is because it will have an effect on the launch angle. The more closed you are with the club face to your path, the face to path value, the less launch angle you will tend to have. And when you have less launch angle, it makes you want to hit even more up. But the reality is that that launch angle is a disciple of, or a reading of, how much you're hitting up and the loft that you've got on the club face relative to your path line. So the striking up on the golf ball, whether the face is open or closed, will be dictated or evaluated by the launch angle. Now what I'm going to do is going to hit up on the golf ball with more of the sense that golfers have this feeling that they're going to rise up, sit back, rise up and drive the handle forwards. And what you'll start to see is all of a sudden that sense of me striking up on the golf ball. You can see I hit up on it at 8.6, and of course I've exaggerated that, but I've hit up on it 8.6. Can you see that the launch angle was 5 degrees? Now, let's just say that that face to path value is 0. If I bring it back to 0, I'd add nuts and bolts 5 degrees of launch on that launch angle. So at 8 degrees up, I've still only hit a shot that's going to be in the region of 10 degrees of launch at 8 degrees up, which is why when we believe that angle of attack comes from sitting back, hitting up, we really get ourselves into a pickle. So I'm going to demonstrate that shot again. I'm going to drive the handle forwards, I'm going to sit back. The handle will drive forwards because all the time you're sitting back, you're making the right shoulder closer to the floor, which means the ground is getting too much in your way. So you will hold on to this angle and hit up. And it will look something like that, where I'm really sitting back. Again, I've hit up 4 degrees. Yet I've only got 9 degrees of launch. It's really difficult. So that's the way I see golfers on the mat, nuts and bolts, hitting up on a golf ball. Let me show you a little drill that's going to fix that for you. So I've got a sneaky drill here with the putter. Now in this case, I've actually, with the aid of the guys downstairs at Precision Golf here, I've managed to get a putter, angle the shaft, bend the neck of the shaft and make it a little bit more like a 7-iron. And what I'm looking for is the sense that through strike, I want to sense that my shoulders are level, my hips are level, and I'm approaching that golf ball from the side in the same way as I would hitting a putt. And so that sideways application of the club head is crucial for getting the face and the handle lined up to create the loft and launch that we're looking for down at strike. This is the kind of impact condition that we're looking for a driver, where the handle and the head are lined up, the club head is swinging, releasing the golf club, giving us the potential energy that we all are looking for with the driver. But not only that, it's giving us the opportunity to get the dynamic loft back on the golf club and get this launch angle up, without feeling like we've got to sit back. So here's the drill. We're going to set ourselves up. I'm going to go up to the top of the backswing, and what I want you to do is really start to feel like you can accelerate the light end. So at the top you're going to accelerate the light end and you're going to stop here. Now what I want you to do is bring the club head back to the golf ball and line it up like a putter. Didn't do a very good job of that. So pull it and then you're going to line it back up with a putter. And then when you get back down to the ground, you're just going to hit me a little putt like so. And what this is going to do is start to give you the sensation that you can load it, return it back like a putter. So that you start to sense, because the lever is longer, you'll start to sense when that lining back up needs to take place. Now, if you're brave and you've got a spare putter at home, what you might want to do is try this in some full swings. And yes, that's what you turned up for. Stuart hitting full swing putters on the mat. So we're going to go. There's the pull. There's the break phase, lining the putter back up so that we can feel that we can get some launch and some loft back on this putter. You can see there, 1 degree of launch angle, not a lot. Now I'm going to really apply the break phase. And now all of a sudden, we get 4 or 5 degrees of launch angle. So as I pulled it, I stalled out and I allowed the putter head to swing. And now all of a sudden I've got 8 degrees of launch angle, 7 degrees. And I've still got 6 degrees of angle of attack. Not too worried about that. I'm really more interested in trying to create the launch of the golf ball of how I'm allowing the club head to swing. I'm not sure TrackMan can cope with me hitting a putter, so I'm not going to worry too much about the numbers on the left, but what I am interested in is the launch angle. So again, there's the pull, there's the break phase. Now I'm going to feel how the line up as I was hitting a putt, and you'll start to sense the load and the swing. Not a particularly good one that time, although I did get the path line all lined up. The pull and swing. There we go, that's a bit of a better one. And so I'm getting some decent launch angle, getting some decent numbers to create the launch of a putter. That's not for the faint-hearted, but certainly gives me the sensation and the feedback of how I'm using my levers. Let's put that with the driver. So I'm back with the driver, and I'm going to feel exactly the same thing. Now, you need to understand that, of course, the break phase, the body will start to stall out. With the iron, which is that video up there that I talked about the iron break phase, I talked about the right shoulder continuing a little bit longer. And as Gary Satterfield said in one of his comments, he said, I'm going with the tip that the right shoulder wants to feel like it slows down a bit. You're absolutely right. The right shoulder is going to feel like the energy comes out of it to allow that golf club to swing. You can still accelerate and pull hard, but the sensation is that the right shoulder slows itself down a little so I can sense that golf club to swing. Now you will feel that whilst doing the drill with the putter. So exactly the same sensation as I've just been doing with the putter should now feel quite easy because I've got another 10 degrees of loft or so. I've now got the ball forwards and teed up. So I'm going to go up to the top. There's the pull. There's the widening, and there's the sensation that I'm going to move through with a putter. So pull, break, and swing. Pull, break, swing. 12.5 degrees of launch. Pretty pleased with that. Bit of an open face. Let's have another go. Pull, break, there's the unload, and there's the club moving around me. So pull, break, swing, up at 5 degrees, face to path 0, launch angle at 3. I'm using the pull, the swing, to give me the energy down at the golf ball that I deserve from this driver. It's a very different feel. It really is, because all of a sudden you get rid of this sensation that I continue to accelerate through strike, which will never end well. You'll hit down, you'll have an open club face, and you'll cut them out to the right. So use that putter drill to give you an opportunity. If you're tired of paying too much for your premium leather golf gloves, head over to gxgolfgloves.com. These are gloves trusted by tour players and elite amateurs alike. Use my code GOODCOACHING to receive 10% off your next order. Go try them out. You won't be disappointed. To sense what it's going to feel like lining the head and the handle up down through strike, and when that break phase needs to occur to allow that line up to happen. Hopefully you found that useful. Do consider subscribing while you're here. I look forward to seeing you next time. And that, my friends, is good coaching.